All right, everybody ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely.
Today, we're going back to 1979,
Oh, wow.
the murder of Carl Gamari.
Okay.
And we're using a podcast called Anatomy of Murder as our source material.
Interesting.
And this one is really interesting, this case.
Yeah.
We know that Carl's wife, Jackie,
Mm-hmm.
was behind the whole thing.
Okay.
She orchestrated the murder.
Wow.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
The two hitmen that she hired
Right.
have never been identified
Oh, wow.
or charged.
So this is a real cold case.
It's a cold case, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's over 40 years later.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to see if we can use the podcast to figure out if we can maybe finally get some closure on this case.
Yeah, it was good.
At least figure out who did it.
Yeah.
Let's start with the basics.
Okay.
We're talking April 30th, 1979,
Right.
in Inverness, Illinois.
Got it.
Carl was found in his basement,
Hmm?
shot 6 times with his own gun.
Wow. That's...
And suspicion immediately fell on his wife, Jackie.
I can imagine. Was there any specific reason?
Well,
Yeah.
she was having a very public affair
Oh, right.
with a police officer named Sam Greco.
Okay.
And everyone knew that she wanted a divorce
Oh, so she wanted...
and Carl's money.
So both divorce and the money.
No, she wanted it all.
Okay, so she had a pretty good motive.
She definitely had a motive.
Mhm.
Now, the initial investigation
Right.
was unfortunately hampered
Okay.
by a very unfortunate event.
Yeah.
A few weeks later, American Airlines Flight 191 crashed.
Oh, wow.
And so that really stretched the resources of the local police.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And so the Gamari case kind of got put on the back burner.
Just kind of got
Yeah,
overshadowed by this other huge tragedy.
exactly.
Yeah.
But even with those early setbacks,
Mm-hmm.
investigators never completely gave up on this case, did they?
No, they didn't. No.
Okay.
Fast forward to 2011.
Okay.
Detective Mike Kirby picked up the case.
Okay.
Now, remember Sam Greco?
Jackie's lover.
Yeah. The police officers are...
Right.
That adds a whole nother layer of intrigue to this case.
Yeah. What else do we know about him
Nothing.
besides the affair?
Besides the affair, let's
Yeah.
see. Just an hour after the murder,
Mm-hmm.
Sam shows up at the crime scene.
Okay.
Then a week later,
Yeah.
he moves in with Jackie.
A week later.
Yeah. And 4 months after that,
Uh-huh.
they're married.
4 months after that.
Yeah.
That's
Gets quick.
that's really fast.
Yeah, even considering everything that happened,
Right.
it just seems a little suspicious.
Yeah.
The timing.
It does.
And then you've got the financial aspect.
Oh, yeah.
The day after the murder,
Mm-hmm.
Jackie and Sam go to Carl's workplace
Okay.
and they demand his money.
Oh, wow.
Like they just waltz right in
The day after?
the day after.
Wow.
And they walked away with $3,000 in cash from his boss.
Wow.
Nothing.
That's pretty brazen. To just go in there like that?
Yeah. And then,
Yeah.
okay, so get this.
Yeah.
They open a new checking account
Okay.
and they use Sam's police badge number
Okay.
as the starting check number.
His badge number.
His badge number.
Why would he do that?
It's a pretty blatant move.
Yeah, it's like he's announcing
It's like he's...
that he was involved.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then if that wasn't enough,
Okay.
there's this other connection
Yeah.
that just makes things even more suspicious.
Okay.
Sam worked under a police commander
Mm.
named William Hanhart,
Okay.
who was later convicted
Okay.
of running a mob-related jewelry theft ring.
So he had experience with organized crime.
Exactly.
So if you're looking for someone
Right.
who knows how to make something look like a robbery gone wrong,
Yeah.
this is the guy.
It's definitely a connection
Yeah,
worth considering.
definitely.
So while there's no direct evidence
Okay.
linking Sam to the actual murder,
Right.
his relationship with Jackie
Yeah.
and his actions following Carl's death,
Mhm.
they're just
They're super suspicious.
very suspicious.
Yeah, definitely a lot of smoke there,
Right.
even if we haven't found the fire yet.
Exactly.
Now, Jackie had other connections too, right?
Oh, yeah.
That raised red flags.
Yes.
Who else?
Frank Dia,
Okay.
another one of Jackie's boyfriends.
She got around.
She did. And
Yeah.
he was also Sam's cousin.
Wait, so they're all
Yeah, it's all
connected.
It's all connected.
Oh my gosh, the plot thickens.
Yeah, this is where it gets
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
So what about Frank?
Okay, so
Yeah.
shortly after Carl's death,
Mm-hmm.
Jackie and her children moved to Florida,
Okay.
and Frank paid them a visit.
Right.
Now, Carl's daughter, Becky,
Okay.
later stated
Mm-hmm.
that Frank arrived
Okay.
in a brand new car.
Oh, wow.
And then after the visit,
Yeah.
he left in another brand new car.
So he came with one new car and left with a different new car.
A different brand new car.
Okay.
So
Sounds like some...
Sounds like got a big payout.
Maybe what was he doing for work?
Yeah, what was his job?
Well, shortly after that Florida trip,
Okay.
Frank buys a restaurant
Okay.
in Melrose Park, Illinois,
Right.
called the Fish House.
Okay.
And he pays for it
Mm-hmm.
entirely in cash.
Wow, all cash for a restaurant.
All cash. That's not...
pretty suspicious. Right?
Yeah, it's very suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the trail doesn't end there.
Oh.
No. Tell me more.
Frank's brother,
Okay.
Dia,
All right.
also started making some interesting purchases around this time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, investigators found out
Okay.
that he had traded in his Jaguar
Mm-hmm.
for a newer model,
Okay.
but the VIN number of the original car
Yeah.
was untraceable.
Couldn't trace it.
Couldn't trace it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So both brothers.
Suddenly had a lot of money
It seems that way.
right after Carl's death.
Right.
Hard to ignore that timing.
Yeah. That's very suspicious.
It is. Yeah.
Then Detective Kirby finds photographs
Okay.
of Sam Greco with Frank and Dia.
Wow. So they're all connected?
They're all connected.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we've got a motive.
Right.
We've got suspicious financial activity.
Mm-hmm.
And now a direct link between all three of them.
Right.
But do we know?
So that's where things get a little more complicated.
Okay.
This is a case
Yeah.
full of twists and turns.
Right.
We're just getting started.
Well, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
So many twists and turns.
Right.
Did investigators find any solid leads?
Well, this is where the case
Mm-hmm.
gets really frustrating.
Okay.
All the physical evidence,
Yeah.
like cigarette butts, glasses, fingerprints,
Mhm.
they were stored in the police evidence room.
Right. Waiting for technology to catch up.
Exactly.
Mm.
But then
Yeah.
not one, but two floods
Oh, no.
ravaged the evidence room.
Oh, wow.
Most of the evidence was destroyed.
Wow. So all those fingerprints and DNA
It's all gone.
just gone.
Yeah, water damage is devastating.
So that must have been a huge setback for the investigation.
Yeah, it was a major setback.
Mm-hmm.
But Detective Kirby,
Yeah.
he didn't give up.
Okay.
He kept looking for anything that could have survived.
Yeah.
And remember those fingerprints lifted from the scene,
Oh, yeah.
including the one from the phone.
Right. The phone that Jackie was using
Yes.
when the hitmen came into the house?
Exactly.
Didn't Jackie say that maybe one of them wasn't wearing gloves?
Yeah, and it turns out
Okay.
those prints weren't completely lost.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the originals were destroyed.
Right.
But Kirby discovered that the Illinois State Police Crime Lab had photographed the prints
Okay.
before sending them back to Inverness.
So there was still a chance.
There was a chance.
Did those photos lead to a match?
Well, they worked really hard to
Yeah.
compare those prints.
Mm.
They also collected fingerprints and DNA from Sam, Frank, and even got a sample from S using a discarded cigarette butt.
Wow. Talk about dedication.
I know, right?
What?
But neither the fingerprints nor the DNA provided a match.
Oh, man. It seems like every time they get a break in this case,
I know.
something gets in the way.
It's really frustrating.
Yeah.
But there were still some intriguing developments.
Okay.
Do you remember Guy,
Guy.
the informant?
Oh, yeah. Guy, the one with the gold chains.
Yeah, him.
Did he actually provide any useful information?
He did.
Okay.
And it was a bombshell.
All right. I'm listening.
So Guy revealed that he had once dated
Okay.
Patty, the wife of Dia,
Mm-hmm.
and she told him
Okay.
that on their wedding day,
Uh-huh.
S confessed to her
Wow.
that he and Frank
Okay.
had killed a man in Inverness
He admitted to the murder
on his wedding day.
on his wedding day.
Yeah.
Wow. What a way to start a marriage.
Right. But
Yeah.
there's a catch.
Okay.
Because this confession was made to his wife.
Right.
It's protected by what's called marital privilege.
So even though she heard this confession
Yeah.
from her own husband,
Right.
they can't use it in court.
That's how marital privilege works.
Wow. So they have this key piece of information,
I know.
but they can't use it?
Nope.
Man, that's got to be so frustrating
It's incredibly
for the
frustrating.
investigators.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But they weren't giving up.
Okay.
They brought Frank and S in for questioning.
You're right.
S immediately lawyered up.
Smart move.
Yeah, if you don't want to incriminate yourself.
Exactly.
Frank, though,
Yeah.
he was surprisingly talkative.
Did he say anything useful?
Well, he denied involvement, of course.
Of course.
But as the interview was ending,
Yeah.
he turned to Detective Kirby
Mm-hmm.
and said something really chilling.
Okay, you got to tell me. What did he say?
He looked Kirby right in the eye
Mm-hmm.
and said, "When you come to get me, will you call me and I'll just turn myself in?"
What? What does that even mean?
All right.
Was he confessing? Was he just messing with the detective?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Was it arrogance? Like he thought he was untouchable?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it a little bit of guilt?
Yeah.
Or maybe he was scared
Of what?
that Jackie, now in custody,
Right.
would crack and implicate him and S.
It makes you wonder.
It really does.
And the story doesn't end there, does it?
Not at all. So after Jackie was arrested, the state's attorney got a call
Okay.
from a lawyer
All right.
saying that his client wanted to make a deal.
A deal.
Yeah, a deal related to the Inverness murder.
So a potential plea deal.
It seemed like it.
So were they finally going to get a confession?
It seemed that way.
Mm-hmm.
But the lawyer called back
What?
and said his client changed his mind.
Oh, so close.
I know.
Did they ever find out who this mystery client was?
They did.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe this.
Okay.
Detective Kirby
Yeah.
traced the lawyer's phone number,
Okay.
tracked down his office,
Mm-hmm.
and got security camera footage
Okay.
from the day the lawyer received the call about the plea deal.
All right.
And guess who walks through the door?
It was Frank, wasn't it?
You got it.
Oh.
Caught on camera.
Meeting with this lawyer
Trying to broker this deal.
about the Gamari murder.
Yes.
It seems like everything points to Frank and S
Right.
as the hitmen.
Yeah.
So why haven't they been charged?
That's the million-dollar question.
What's the missing piece?
They have circumstantial evidence,
Mm-hmm.
suggestive statements, suspicious financial activity,
Right?
but they need a confession
Okay.
or irrefutable physical evidence
All right.
directly linking Frank and S to the murder.
Mm-hmm.
And we know the physical evidence is gone.
So Jackie's in custody for orchestrating her husband's murder.
Right.
But the two men who actually pulled the trigger,
Yeah.
presumably Frank and S,
Mm.
are still free.
It's unbelievable.
It's mind-blowing that they've managed to avoid justice for so long.
I know. It's really frustrating.
Yeah.
But there's still hope.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes all it takes is one small break, one new piece of information
Yeah.
to crack the case wide open.
Okay.
Remember, Detective Kirby interviewed over 109 people
Wow.
across 9 states during his investigation.
9 states?
Yeah.
Wow.
So there could be pieces of this puzzle out there
Right.
just waiting to be discovered.
It's crazy to think that Frank and Hess might have actually gotten away with murder.
Well, it really shows you
Yeah.
how high the burden of proof is in our legal system. You know, suspicion,
Right.
coincidences, rumors,
Yeah.
they're not enough to convict someone.
Right. You need hard evidence.
Exactly.
Something that will hold up in court.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
someone out there listening right now
Right.
has that missing piece of the puzzle.
It's possible.
So we've got those composite sketches of the suspects fleeing the scene.
Right.
Those are based on eyewitness accounts from 1979.
Yeah.
We're going to have those in the show notes.
Make sure you guys check those out.
Yeah, take a look. Maybe you recognize one of those faces.
Yeah, you never know.
Maybe you remember hearing something back then.
Right.
Even a small detail that seemed insignificant at the time.
Exactly. It could be the key to cracking this case.
It could be what finally brings the Gamari family some closure.
Absolutely.
So if anything from this deep dive sparks a memory,
Anything at all.
no matter how small,
Doesn't matter how small.
reach out to the Inverness Police Department.
Yeah.
We'll have their contact information in the show notes as well.
Perfect.
It's amazing how much unsolved crimes impact
Yeah.
not just the victims' families,
Right.
but the entire community.
It really does affect a lot of people.
It's been decades,
Mm-hmm.
and Carl Gamari's murder still weighs heavily on everyone.
Yeah, that desire for answers, for
Right.
justice,
It never goes away.
never goes away.
And this case is a reminder that even the most carefully planned crimes
Right.
leave traces.
Mm-hmm.
And even though justice might be delayed,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be denied.
Absolutely not.
So what can we take away from all of this?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that patience and perseverance are key
Mm-hmm.
in these kinds of cases. You know, investigators might hit dead ends,
Right.
but they can't give up.
They have to keep looking for new angles,
Exactly.
new evidence,
Mhm.
re-examining old evidence.
And maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
with your help,
Right.
we can finally bring those responsible.
Carl's death to justice. So remember those composite sketches?
Mm-hmm.
Every detail matters.
Right.
Every voice can make a difference.
Absolutely.
And the pursuit of justice
Yeah.
never really ends.
Never ends.